Okay, so today we're going to be doing counter control loops. So in this one, we're going to be counting the grades of a class with, let's say, 15 students. So we're going to find the sum, the average. Yeah, that's it from the grades. But what we want is for the program to be asking the user to be given the values of the grades. It should repeat about 15 times, since that's the number of students in the class. So it should not exceed that and it should not be less than that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's start off with the basics as usual from last time. So hashtag include the standard library, int main, then the last thing, return 0. Now I like putting it just at the beginning so that I don't forget, and just run it after finishing everything. So here you put a declaration, so we say int grade. So this is for integers, the int part. Grade, what else? Sum. So sum should be equal to 0. We also have count, which should be equal to 1. That's it. Then average should be float, since it should have points. So it has numbers after the decimal point, so that's why we use float. Since the grade sometimes it can't be a whole number, the average I mean, it can't be a whole number, so that's why we use float. So you just say average. That's it. So now when doing the calculation, you should make sure the declarations correspond. Okay, so now, so we put the loop here. So we say while count is less than or equal to, since we say the number of students is 15, so we put 15. So it will be counting while is less than or equal to 15. So when it's equal to 15, it stops. So that's how the loop works. So after this, you start putting in the value. So what you want to be displaying is, so it's a printf. So what you want is enter grade of student. You store the value, so it's a percentage %d, and so here this is where you put grade. So here it should correspond to the way you declared it. So after this, you just calculate the sum plus grade, then after that count plus, so that every time it should be adding. So now to avoid this being displayed concurrently, so we put this so that every time it says enter grade of student, it goes to the next line, since we want everything to be in order. So order is an important part of the program, you know. You can't have everything displaying in confusion. A user has to be seeing everything with order, so it should be user friendly. Not everything is just scattered. You can't process everything, right? So that's not what we want. So after that, you say average is equal to sum divided by 15. So there you just use your basic math and calculate average. So after this, you want the average and the sum to be printed out. So what you see is the total grades is percentage D and average is, so average, since it's float, you say percentage F, then percentage D, the first one is for sum, the second one is for average, the second percentage F, average, just like that, and you should be good to go. So you just proofread everything. So here okay, so everything just seems okay. Okay, so you can run the program and check for any errors. Compile and run. So it should be C. You save it whatever you want. Okay, so there are no errors, so now it should run. Okay, so after you proofread everything, there is while count is less than or equal to 15. Yeah, so everything should run. So here it says enter grade of a student, so we say maybe this one got 45, the next one got 36. Yeah, you can just randomize the numbers. Okay, 788. Okay, let's just go with that. Okay, just like that. So when it reaches 15, it should automatically stop and count everything there. So it says the total grades is 2136, the average is 142, just like that. So we try to run it again. So we start again. So for this one, everything should be, let's say, less than 100 and above 50. So we'll be saying 78, 90, 56, 78, 98, 75, 67, 69, 89, 87, 90, 92,